started championing women at a very young age. She started with herself by always pushing her boundaries and limits. Up to the day, she continues to inspire women by opening opportunities to lead them.
You know, Nina, you've been an inspiration to a lot of women, including me. So, ang dami namin gustong malaman about you. Right? So, welcome to the show called Self-Made.
Thank you, Rebecca. Good morning from Manila.
And good evening from Toronto.
Can you imagine, Rebecca? We will be talking this way rather than side by side. But it feels closer because I can see you so close through Zoom.
Yeah. See, technology is so amazing, right? So, walang makaka-stop sa atin. So, we want to find out your secret kasi I've been reading your story. You came from Tarlac. And I think your parents came from educated background. So, how you started? What do you really want to be nung bata ka?
Alam mo, Rebecca, gusto ko lang noon na makapag-aral mabuti, no? And because both my parents were teachers, and si Ma was like a teacher dun sa isang elementary school in Tarlac. So where it started, kasi walang mag-aalaga sa amin sa bahay, sinasama niya ako parang saling pusa ba. Hindi ako makapagsalita ng Tagalog. I only knew Kapampangan, no? And then I wasn't able to like understand English. So nung summer na yon, kasi ang balak nila, ilipat kami dun sa school, na formal school kasi hindi na saling pusa, no? That summer, tinuruan akong magbasa ng English book. Yung hanggang ngayon memorize ko, look up, up, di ba? Look down, down. So, natuto akong konting maka-understand ng English at pumasa kami dun sa school na yon. So, yun, that's how it started. And gusto kong mag-aral pa. And I was inspired by my father who was educated in the US and then sa London. And I was thinking na paano kaya niya ginawa yun? I had the same thought, no? Pero si Ma, simple lang, housewife, teacher, and siyang kasama namin madalas. So yun, siguro nakita ko sa kanila yung kanilang devotion, yung kanilang pagsisikap, and na-inspire ako doon.
So, nung maliit pala kayo, do you consider yourself you came from mayaman na pamilya? Or Hindi, Bex. In fact, like, alam mo, may mahal din yung school, di ba? So, nare-remember ko yon, 4 kaming nasa school. Bago kami makapag-exam, yung tuition fee kailangan namin bayaran, di ba? Kahit hindi kami mayaman, hindi kami malungkot. You know what? We were happy kasi marami kaming magkakapatid and then nagtutulungan kami. So, having 7 kids or siyempre 6 ang siblings mo, no? So, nagkaroon ba kayo ng experience ng competition na magkakapatid?
Mo, hanggang ngayon, Bex, hindi. Nagtutulungan kami more than anything, di ba? Kaya natutuwa ako mag-spelling. Ang pinakamalaking word ko noon, Rebecca, you won't believe. Spell Carabao. Carabao, di ba? Natutunan kong spell yun. Siguro 6 years old pa lang ako kasi kabisote lang di ba? C-A-R-A-B-A-O. Carabao.
Sosyal,
Sosyal, di ba? Kasi si ate, yung mga ate ko, talagang mga salutatorian, yung gano'n. So, natuto na lang ako. Siguro, inspiration ko rin sila.
Mm-hmm. So, also, why you decided to be an accountant? Is it from your parents or ikaw mismo?
Hindi sa akin yun, Beck. Masunurin nga ako naging obedient ako, di ba? Kasi lahat ng mga siblings namin, mga ate, mga kuya, mga journalists sila
Yeah.
So, they were in the liberal arts. So, sabi ni Ma, nung I have a twin sister, si Nona, and wanted to do the same thing. So, sabi ni Ma, maybe siguro, mag-accountant ka.
Pero ano talagang gusto mo noon when you were young?
No, that's age. I can be anything. That's what I felt, I can be anything, and I know that I will try my best because ang prime motivator ko, ayokong i-disappoint yung parents ko. Kasi I know how hard they work, di ba? At konti lang
ang means namin. At that age, I was very responsible. Ang belief ko, Bex, if you're coming from a good place, kung your heart is pure, and you sincerely want something, I think God will bless you. And then the forces of nature, well, yung whatever your dreams are, whatever yung pangarap mo, the forces of nature will conspire to make them happen.
But before you start with City, can you share with us first with this GV?
I only landed there accidentally sa SGV. I was with 2 other good friends from UST. Mga summa cum laude yung isa, magna yung isa. Ako may nangyari kaya wag na natin pag-usapan yun. I fell in love. And so, gusto ko talaga bangko eh. So sabi ko, no, sige, I will just accompany you. Sasama ako sa inyo sa SGV. O sabi ko, what have I to lose? Sa 3, 2 nakuha, ako yung isa. Ako yung girl na nakuha. O, di ba?
Oh my God, that's so amazing, okay? And I know you built your career there, ah?
That was my first job offer, Rebecca. After graduation and review school, di ba? Alam mo, sweldo ko noon, 380 pesos a month.
Ang laki pera noon.
Ang laking pera noon, di ba?
Yeah, that's a lot of money that time.
Tuwang-tuwa ako, tuwang-tuwa ang tatay ko, tuwang-tuwa ang nanay ko, di ba? So sabi ko sa kanila, ma, pag nagtrabaho ako nang magbabayad ng kuryente natin. O, di ba? Sa 100 pesos, di ba?
That's amazing.
O yun, tapos yun, nakapasok ako sa SGV.
But Mario fell in love with you already nung university pa lang kayo? Anong sabi niya sa'yo?
Mamamalengke kami sa may sa Central Market ba? Sa may UST kasi nga I take care nga of the meals even then. And di ba? And then siya naman nakasakay din dun sa jeepney.
Yeah.
That day, lumabas naman yung results ng board exam nila, that batch. 2 years ahead, di ba? So, kinongratulate ko naman siya because I knew him from university. But that was about 2-3 years before. After na ng university, nakita daw niya ako doon. Sabi niya, he prayed to God daw. Sabi niya, Dear God, sabi niya, send me like someone like her who looks like her to marry.
Oh, wow.
Yun lang ang prayer niya, di ba?
Amazing.
Yun daw, he wrote that story. Tapos, who looked like her to marry. And then, nung nakita niya ako sa SGV, to him, it was already, this is it.
Wow.
Di ba, binigay na ni God. But sabi niya, I only wish for someone, for somebody to be my wife to look like you. But I got you. Padasalin din kasi siya eh.
That's a beautiful story, ah? Ano ang pinakaunang position mo din in Citibank? What position?
I was hired by Bank of Nova Scotia in the Asia Pacific Regional Office to be part of their credit team, no? And then I was identified the first woman to be sent to London, Ontario for training.
Wow.
Yun, nung pagbalik namin na second time from the US, that's when I joined Citibank. Pero alam mo to, very surreal ito, Rebecca. So, yung BNS office, nandun sa Paseo de Rojas, very across AIM. Pero, nung bumalik ako, Mario was driving, papunta ako sa, ewan ko kung saan ako pupunta nun. Nakita ko yung Citibank, di ba? Sabi ko, I will work there someday. So, when I got there, yun, I started as a professional hire. That's how they do it in Citi at that time. And then, but every year I got promoted. So, in 5 years, I was vice president.
So ano ang
Diba?
message mo doon kasi di ba ang daming mga nagrereklamo na mahirap lang kami, na ganito lang, tanggapin ko na. Anong message mo sa kanila?
I think if you can make it a stepping stone, no? And embrace it. And then like opportunities will arise if you prove yourself or if you show yourself that you're sincere, that you're hardworking, that you are, loyal and then create your own network within the organization that you're in. Maliit man lang, pero at least like one thing that you mustn't do, I think, is like stay humble and stay like connected. And if you can help out, help out. Diba?
You had the opportunity to meet Margaret Thatcher. Can you tell us?
She was a different woman altogether, and he was a very big person, di ba? Siyempre, Rebex, there's that admiration and there is that you always want that, di ba? Na it goes really beyond you. And I think if I compare myself to her, mababaw lang ako
Uy,
compared to her. Hindi talaga kasi she was very strong and she would like push talaga.
Yes.
And she would like Iron Lady nga eh.
Yes, Iron Lady.
Pero ako, Iron Lady ako, Rebecca, pero sweet.
She's actually very sweet also, right? Like imagine she's
Yes,
your husband.
yes.
Kasi the way you talk, I remind of Michelle Obama. And I know you met her. Why you went all the way and see her? What inspired you?
So I got this invitation to go to Singapore. And then, to be in that big audience, it was over 1,000 people with us, to hear her talk, no? And I think it was so expensive, but it was given to me for free. So why will I not take it, diba?
Okay.
And on top of that, they chose about 80 people to meet her personally. So I was one of those chosen again. Oh, diba? That inspiration, and I guess that her words, her presence.
How about being in life? Why you decided to from a bank to insurance? What happened?
By God's grace and inspiration din yan, Bex. It landed on my lap in a sense, diba? But then, I guess the idea of me becoming CEO was in the minds of some of the board of trustees. And while initially, I wasn't really thinking of it. And then on the day it was going to happen, I got a phone call from one of the directors at 4:30 in the morning, I think, or 5. They must have not been sleeping because they had to convince one another that in fact I would be the right person to be CEO. And he said, "Good morning, Madam CEO." Because the board was gonna happen that day. So I embraced it. You know, I embraced it and I welcome it, and so that's how it started.
Can you also explain a little bit more about InLife so that people who's really watching this, they can understand what is InLife or Insular Life is?
Insular Life is the oldest and the biggest life insurance company in the Philippines. It's been here for over a century, 110 years last year, that we celebrated big time, no? Despite the restrictions of COVID. And it's such a solid, financially strong organization. And of course, all Filipino to, Bex, and I take pride in that, no? And we're the only mutual company in the Philippines. To be mutual means that the policyholders are co-owners of the company.
Now, with Insular also, why you're focusing with Sheroes?
Primarily because women are normally underinsured or don't know insurance at all. But they carry the burden of the household. They carry the burden of the family. The reason we're focusing on women because sila ang pinakamahirap pagdating when something happens to them. And even like, if you look at our population, maraming women, no? And they're struggling every day. And we say, we want to be able to offer affordable insurance. That's one thing. And then through InLife Sheroes, we're able to do that. So we said we have 4 pillars. One is financial education and awareness. Kasi minsan, wag ka nang bumili muna ng kolorete para sa mukha. Di ba? Mag-save ka, makabili ka ng konting insurance. Di ba? So we're trying to encourage the young to really think about yung financial education. Sabi nga natin noon, you know, save more than you earn.
So, Nina, do you consider yourself now a successful, beautiful woman?
Success to me kasi is defined more in the terms of how many people we've been able to help.
Mm-hmm.
Diba? Natutuwa ako na yung mga bata, my children, grew up to be responsible human beings, mabait, and are now taking care of their own families, diba? That I think is a success measure for me. So, am I successful?
maybe to some extent, but parenting does not end then.
Mhm.
Then even when they're grown up and then they have their own children,
Okay.
it's extended siguro for the rest of our life. The second measure I have for success is really seeing the people who worked with me, for me, with me in my journey, as successful themselves.
What a beautiful story. Thank you for sharing, Nina. I know
Thank you
that
so much, Rebecca.
yeah, you can inspire many, definitely. Maraming salamat.
Maraming salamat and sana makauwi na kayo and we can touch each other.
Yes, I'm sure.
Thank you so much, Rebecca,
Thank you.
for taking the
Thank
time.
you.
As I said, this is my very personal interview.
I am Rebecca Bustamante, and this is Self-Made.